It is Monday night, November 10th, and some people will tell you we're in holiday season. Ryan Teach, ready to preach. Teach Daddy, how are you?
It's another beautiful Monday evening, and again, it is getting cold. Winter is upon us. Hate every bit of it,
The
even as
leaves are
somebody who's
falling on a
been
regular pace, right?
in Michigan my whole life. Yep. And it. I hate this time of year. I miss the heat already. Take me back.
I mean, right now I'm making a little bit of cash but from the weather, but aside that, I'm just worried about other people, man. Like remember how I told people and I'm not sure if it was the intro or if it was the outro. I said, make sure your headlights work. Remember I said that?
I'll take your word on it.
So a woman I went on a date with had her headlight out.
Whoa, when
My
was
father had his
this?
headlight out. It was my medical friend, and sure enough, it just wasn't what it was. But anyway,
And my
yeah,
my boy's all grown up and dating.
not really, not really. It's not great.
It's complicated.
Anyways, so she had a headlight out. My father had a headlight out. My ex-girlfriend called me, and she's gonna compensate me because both her headlights are out.
Good guy, really, to go work on his ex girlfriend's headlights. I would have not picked up the phone, in all honesty.
What's very funny and ironic about this is I said, listen, whatever you do, because it's this time of year, it gets dark at 4 to 5 o'clock now. And earlier, if it's a cloudy day, straight up start your car, turn your lights on, walk around 360 degrees before everything's covered in leaves, before it gets too cold, before there's snow on the ground, everything. Sure as shit. And this evening, I found out my mother, she had a brake light out. And you don't see that from behind you. If you're by yourself, you literally have to push that thing in and hold it with something heavy. Then you could go back and go, oh. Because when are you going to see it? And without it, guess what? God forbid somebody gets rammed and their face hits the steering wheel. I don't want that. But yes, it's been ongoing thing. People have been needing their headlights changed and their taillights changed and all that. Like again, I always want people safe this time of year, and that's what I think matters most. So yes, as much as my day can be filled with stress and anxiety and double that today, I care about my people. Some compensate more than others. Sometimes it's just friends being friends. But that's just one I want to have it because again, we're at this point where for me, I clock into work, it's dark. And pretty soon, when I clock out of work, it's going to be dark. So when somebody says, oh, well, I don't have time, well, neither does anybody else for the most part. Like you
But
work
make it
second shift, there's time to actually fix that in the morning before you go there because once you clock out of work, it's dark. When I clock out of work, it's going to be dark. And I have a 6:30 to 4 o'clock day. And hell, tomorrow I actually got to help out. She's soon going to be 94 years old. I got to help her out tomorrow because she ain't going to have the strength to do it. It's just things like that. It's just helping people. Helps me sleep better at night.
now. You know it won't help you sleep better at night. Caffeine, because that's going to keep you awake, and we have three sources of caffeine to try tonight.
Love that transition. So, Teach Daddy, which one do you want to try first? And give a good intro for which one you want to try first.
So guess we can go with the solo dolo, the individual one, because it's by itself, and we can do more of a comparison with the other two. Monster out of the blue came out with a new ultra flavor that was kind of under the horizon, and we are usually passionate about it, but this is Monster Ultra Passion. is a light purple can with animals on the side of it, kind of like a jungle
I
theme.
love the design on this can, man. Like, if you look at the leopard on the left, if you look at that snake, if you look at the croc that's above where it says energy drink, and the right side, we got the chameleon and the elephant. Design wise, this is a dope can, dude. Just design wise, you gotta look up close to actually see the beauty. But this is a very beautiful can. And I gotta tell you, man, this is the most Monster I've drank since I was like 13, 14.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think so because there's at one point where I was just drinking Red Bull. There's a point where I was just drinking just G Fuel or just Mountain Dew or whatever the case may be, right? This is the most like Monster I've drank because if you think about what they've released this year, right? There was the Ultra Blue Hawaiian. We got this. And actually, this week, it was yesterday, I cracked open, no, it was Saturday night. It was the first time I cracked open OG Monster since I was a teenager. Real talk.
Just in the mood.
I always say that you have to experiment and you have to see what it's like. Like, you have to taste what you gotta have variety. Now, granted, do I think it's the best flavor they make? No, I don't. And my anxiety was so out of control today. I had a white monster can. I cracked it open early and it's still open and it's still in my car. I'll probably sip that sometime tomorrow. It's maybe like got somewhere between half and a third left. Maybe a third left or so. But yeah, been one crazy day. But me
So,
drinking Monster White and a green monster 2 days in a row, that's very unlike me.
so if you couldn't catch it from the name, Ultra Wild Passion is Monster's passion fruit. In case you really are living under a rock, the passion or the Ultra line is their zero sugar line.
Also, there's one thing that just blew my mind. I looked at the monster fridge that was in the grocery store. You know how it has that dim light and it has that LED kind of thing? It's kind of like that faded light in there.
Sure.
They had this next to the strawberry dreams and in the fridge right next to each other. And I'm like, what the hell is that? I can't see the flavor. Is it like white? Is it pink? Is it purple? Is it what? From 20 feet away, it was white, purple, and then pink because of the lighting inside of the fridge, because it has like that dark hue and then there's like that black light in there or whatever. I couldn't tell what the hell they were from 20 feet away. So yeah, needless to say, I'm actually happy about this. I'm willing to give it a try. Although, the one thing that does concern me, if you go underneath where the sugar is on the label, go ahead, spot the block. The was it the erythol or the erythol? It's actually a ingredient I am not a fan of. We just recently read an article that that sugar, uh, you know how we constantly talk about ingredients, how there's other stuff like ryes, that helps with cognitive function.
That
This
could be
does the
cognizant.
opposite. Yes, this does the opposite.
Oh, you're saying I
It
drink this and the 2 grams of erythritol and this is gonna make me feel wild. I'm gonna get wild for that passion.
or make you an edge lord.
Ultra wild passion.
So yes, it essentially is not good for brain function or the heart.
So you're telling me if I drink
Neither is
enough of these, I
caffeine, but
will become the embodiment of Kyle and punch things through the wall? or is there still more research to be done before making a clause?
I think it's heavy use over time. But needless to say, I'm glad I'm not a daily user.
Without further ado, brother
Well,
man,
let's
somebody's
crack
got to
this case.
taste it.
I only know one guy that reviewed this, and he didn't think highly of it.
It smells fine. It smells very reminiscent of oh, they have another one that smells very similar to this. Is it the purple one, I think, maybe? The smell is very familiar. Got a skunk can?
Can't recall. Can't recall the smell. It smells good. It's pleasant, but does it seem familiar? I don't know. I do gotta say though, there's somebody I know that absolutely detests passion fruit. And I knew that shit from Ed, and Eddie, remember? If you remember, I detest mowing the lawn. Double D.
Ready?
All right. Let's try it, King.
Salute.
Cheers. Oh, that's mm, that's strong.
Really? You think so?
Wow. It's strong on my end.
To me, it seems pretty
First sip,
mellow.
that be not sure how I feel about this.
Um, you know, I feel many good things about this, and I feel very many indifferent things. The passion fruit's there. I think it's good. It's not overbearing. To me, it's kind of mellow, but not in a bad way. It is definitely pretty carbonated.
Regular carbonation for a monster.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Um, it has an ultra kind of flavor to it. But expect passion fruit.
Naturally.
Not the best passion fruit I think we've ever had, but it's certainly good for what it is. Would I finish it? Yes. If I knew somebody that loved passion fruit, could I recommend it? Yes. Do I think it's the best thing ever? No.
I haven't tried an ultra purple in a long time. It's been years. Wasn't something I cared for though. Um, but this is all right.
I could
I'm going
definitely
to easily put this as 3 stars and move on from it. Not sure if I'll finish it or not,
really.
but it's okay.
Well, even if you don't finish it now per se, could you find yourself getting one of these and finishing it? I think is a bigger question. Is it bad enough that you
I
could not
think
finish
once in
it?
a, I think once in a while I would grab this just to experiment like I do with a lot of other flavors. Like once in a while, once in a blue moon, you might find myself grabbing a random ultra flavor. Like, for instance, I grabbed myself a white can recently. As I said, I grabbed myself. I haven't been going for Red Bull lately either. I don't know why. It's because I prefer sugar free. Don't know.
I think for being a passion fruit, it's fairly well done. I think brands could
You agreed?
easily make a passion fruit a lot worse. A solid, probably your equivalent of what a 3 out of 5 is, but I'll give it a solid 7.25. I could recommend it. I could drink it again. I could finish this. It's still not like the monster I'm gonna go grabbing for every time I want a monster. Um, is it my top 5? No. But I put it in my top 10. We're in ballpark territory.
Top
I,
10 monsters. Hmm.
I just think a passion fruit could be a lot worse done, and I think they did a solid job here, and it should be accredited.
Hmm.
I think if you
If we're to
like
go
the
by
white
top 10
monster, you
monsters,
probably
I
like
don't think
this.
this. I mean, if you're a monster fan, I think you could give it a try. But as far as like best, like top 10 monsters, uh, this definitely is not in it. But it's 3 stars, and I think it's okay. Because if we're going down the line of my top 10, I'd have to see everything to make a list. Put the whites in there,
Of course.
the Hawaiian Ultra Blues in there. I'm gonna probably say the Ultra Green, the Tropical. Probably would put the Zero Sugar in there, the Gold, whatever the hell they're gonna replace Monster Red with. Obviously, you have Bad Apple. You're gonna have the Electric Blue. So yeah, this definitely isn't top 10, but I can respect it because we have what was last year. But then it's like, okay, Bad Apple's in the top 5. Electric Blue is going to be in my top 5. So now it just makes everything, where do I put the real punch? I don't know. Where do I put Pacific Punch? I don't know.
Where do you put specific punch?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Where do I put the punch?
Where do you put fruit punch on fruit punch?
Where do you put Pipeline Punch?
We we've had
Psych, that ain't in the top
we've
10.
had fruit punch on fruit punch.
Yeah, we did.
What happens when
It's
you
just
mix?
punch.
What happens when you mix fruit punch and fruit punch? It's just
Yeah,
punch.
that did happen. I wonder
That, that will
I
never get
still
old.
wonder if that was Jake's doing or if that was somebody else's doing, but I'm like, "All right, who's the jerk off that put punch, punch, and punch?"
We'll never.
It's just punch.
It'll be forever a fond memory of the podcast. Now, while there is that monster
Uh,
for everyone to go out and try that we do recommend per se, go give yourself a try. Go see if it's in your local convenience stores, grocery store, etc. Here in Michigan, I found it in my local Meijer. There is another dose
I found this in
category,
my
7-Eleven.
yes.
Another two for us to try, and they're technically the same, but with a slight twist. And that's because ye old Red Bull has a new winter edition. And the new winter edition is Fuji Apple, which sounds great, and then it misses me when it says ginger, because I personally am not a ginger or ginger ale guy, so I don't know how enthralled I will be with this can.
So, regardless, the thing that got me is when they did the cinnamon and pear, I was not a fan. I tried that twice, never tried it again. But if you remember, you found this at your Kroger at the time, and I somehow found it at one of my gas stations when I was working construction at the time. It was the dark green can, the Fuji Apple. That was great. And when I see ginger, I don't know. And specifically, the last couple of times we've seen sugar free with some of the crazy flavors, they've tasted better. For instance, I was about to be an extra in an independent movie. I was at a gas station, I got breakfast, and I grabbed myself the 2, winter editions. It was the iced vanilla berry. I grabbed 2, I just went 1, 2, whoop, and they're right next to each other. So I'm like, "Okay, 2," grabbed it, and I didn't realize until I was drinking it, I grabbed the sugar-free one by accident because, again, the blue match the whole thing. So I had no freaking idea. I had zero idea. So then I'm like, wait a minute, why is this? And then I'm like, yo, teach. This is better than the regular because I tried both of them for comparison. And I'm like, bro, what?
And just like as if Relly just showed
Insane.
off, if you hate sugar as much as I do, they do make a sugar-free edition of the new winter. So we'll be trying for your entertainment and expense, and for our taste buds, the brand new winter edition Fuji Apple and Ginger by Redbull in both sugar and sugar-free. And I think as a common denominator constant, we should try the sugar first.
Reason why I say the sugar free matters is simply because sometimes the sucralose just makes the flavors mix better. It makes everything come together just smoother.
Smells
Ooh, smells
very,
good.
it smells very reminiscent to the original Fuji Apple.
It does. Now I hope Ginger doesn't screw this up.
There's a little bit of underlying ginger kick to it if you really dig. It's like apple right up front and that little bit of ginger underneath.
Oh, it's not like a spicy ginger, like how you make like a ginger chicken or something.
That's correct.
Smells. It's like a neutral ginger. Like it's not like gingerbread. It's not like ginger, like something that's in like a spicy dish or something. It's a chaotic neutral.
Mm. Gotcha.
Chaotic neutral. Ready for bottoms up?
Ready as ever, I'll be for ginger. Mind you, again, I am not a ginger ale fan, and I am somebody that hails from Michigan, and people here love their Vernors and their ginger ale.
Now I like my Canada Dry, but that's me. Cheers
Salute there.
and Schweppes. Mm.
Oh, wee mama.
Tastes like a goddamn tree.
The ginger
It
is
tastes like a tree.
the ginger is very there.
Well, yeah, because I get Fuji apple and I'm like, hey, this is great. And then I taste tree and I'm like, oh, shit.
This is one of those times where it feels unfair in a way, because again, as I just stated, I don't like ginger. I don't like ginger ale. I am not personally a fan of this, but I feel like somebody who was a fan of ginger ale slash ginger, you'll probably like this because the apple is pretty decent, and then the ginger is also very there. But I think this is going to be a very acquired taste Red Bull.
Uh,
Just
I don't need.
welcome back. You don't need what? Did I say something again?
I just don't need this.
Okay, there. Yeah, I also don't need this. I don't need it one bit.
So let's. I know how this is going to go. Crack open the sugar free. Because, like I said, a lot of times, particularly with the winterberry and the watermelon, the sucralose will be in it factor.
There's a lot more of an apple smell here.
Mm. Now, it smells like a crispy apple, but ironically, the ginger. I thought the ginger was going to make it smell like pie for some reason. I don't know why.
I don't know what pies you're having, my good man.
I had myself a cherry pie not long ago, if that makes any sense. There wasn't any spice on it though. Usually the spice goes in the pumpkin or the apple. You keep those eyebrows in check, bud. uh, all right. Let's try this.
Salute.
Better.
It's weirdly better, but also weirdly worse.
Okay,
On
so
on the actual
it's
drinkingness of it, the apple is better, the ginger is much more flat. But to me, this leaves much more of an aftertaste.
so the I'm trying to figure out which aftertaste sucks less.
The aftertaste in the sugar one sucks less. It's the initial taste that sucks more. This one's the initial taste is better, but the aftertaste sucks worse.
Me, I think the sugar, I just said that. To me, that's worse.
As a whole, yes, because I think the initial flavor sucks. I like the initial flavor on this, but the aftertaste sucks.
No, I'm saying I think the aftertaste on the sugar is worse.
Do you think so?
Personally, yes.
I don't get much of a huge aftertaste on the sugar. And mind you, sugar Red Bulls have 38 grams sugar, 40 carbs,
Ah,
125 milligrams of sodium, and sugar free. There's only 3 carbs, but there's 200 milligrams of sodium. It's uh,
so,
it's it's winter time, all right.
yeah.
I don't think these ones are going to warm you up in any way. I personally, if I had to pick
I'll
between
give
the
it,
two, go sugar free.
I'd go the sugar free. I'm going to rank that as a 2.6 and the regular 2.4.
I'll give the sugar a 6, and I'll give sugar free a 6.5.
I'm surprised you actually find these things pleasant. I thought you'd
I,
tick them
I,
down
I
to like the
wasn't. I
fives.
didn't say I didn't find them. I don't find them pleasant. I just don't find them disgusting. They're tolerated.
I mean, again, there's been some good flavors you've marked as a six, and there's been disappointing and
6 means it's
maybe
passing.
not putrid. Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like a
I
D.
guess
Think
the
think of it like a grade scale. D's are still passing on a
okay, I
test.
understand. I just think that there's been pleasant Ds and then there's unpleasant Ds. You know what I mean? Like there's been pleasant D flavors, plenty of them. Whereas for me, if I have a D in my if these cans both get a D to me. So which means again, I always put it as I remember when I was a kid, if you scored on a test below a 70, your parent had to sign off on you had to bring it back to the teacher the next day. That's how it worked.
Yep.
You don't hear any background noise, do you? Okay, good. But yes,
Give
to
me one
say
quick
the
moment.
least, these two would need the parents to sign off. Yeah, it's just I think that that is just once again, I remember the last couple of winter flavors outside of the iced vanilla berry. I'm not sure what Red Bull's doing, and I have no idea what in the hell they are trying to accomplish. But to me personally, I really just don't think that they're finding the mark. I really just don't think that. I'm not sure if they're trying too hard. I'm not sure if they're trying to incorporate something, but I think Red Bull needs to stop this crap with the spice. I think they know what sells and what doesn't sell, and the spice is just not it because, as far as I know, they've tried spice twice, and twice they both have been subpar.
Damn it. Um,
Salute.
Thank you. I feel like if you like ginger slash ginger ale, there's a strong chance you'll probably like this flavor.
No,
You really
I love ginger ale. I don't like this.
okay? Then maybe I'm wrong, and I'll happily accept that. But like as a whole, I wholeheartedly agree because I'm not huge on people doing spices in carbonated energy drinks. Just like when we did Alani with the pumpkin cream. Hail to the no.
Okay, but the problem is that when when you have ginger ale, right? It's supposed to be sweet. I'm not sure exactly how they are doing this, but this is not sweet.
Ginger ale supposed to be
Now,
sweet.
I'm a ginger ale, huh?
Ginger ale supposed to be sweet.
Me, yes.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if there's a different roux or I'm not sure if they are officially flavored or so, but if I grab myself a ginger ale, whether if it's Canada Dry or a Schweppes, I taste sweetness. And it does sell the stomach. And yeah, X's mother got me into ginger ale, and I'm just kind of like, you know what? Why have I slept on this? I'm a fan. And some people will tell you that is the key for sickness and everything else, whether if you're in the Midwest or not.
Oh no, here in Michigan, if you have an upset stomach, people will tell you go drink some Verner's. Like go drink some ginger ale, you'll be
I
fine.
was, I remember that there was this joke, and it was going by different cultures and different ethnicities. One ethnicity was ginger ale, one was Vicks Vapor Rub, and one was essential oils. And I'm like, bro, if I'm sick, I know what I'm doing. I'm taking some I'm taking some vitamin capsules. I'm shaving my chest and I'm putting the Vicks Vapor Rub and I'm going to bed. Yes. And if you want to have ginger ale to chase the medicine sometimes, that's okay. But for me, I take a store brand of Mucinex and you got to drink a lot of water with that because what it does is the side effect is a headache and it's always like in the front, like really in the front of your brain. And if you don't drink a lot of water, it's going to get worse. It's like it's sucking the hydration out of your body to dry out the to get the mucus out of your body so you can feel better
Oh,
quicker.
I'll
So
have what
yes,
he's
a
having.
lot of water with the Mucinex. Now again, I'm no doctor, but that's just what works. You just do with what what the job does, man. It's like if you're working like anywhere from whenever, or sometimes I got a 12-hour day, and I just take that in the morning, drink plenty of water, and I'm good to go. Then take it before going to bed, and that's just my routine. I mean, you know me, Teach. I work sick. I work hurt. I gotta do what I gotta do.
Working 9 to 5.
Yep. So I got a better published article, and this was from last month. Remember, I told you about that woman got fined for dumping coffee down the drain before catching her train?
Vaguely.
Okay, so I have this here. This is RTE.IE. Decent journalism. This is by Kevin Collins from the Open University. A woman was recently fined €170 by Richmond Council in London for pouring coffee down a drain before getting on a bus. The fine has now been upheld, rescinded, they said, but the incident has prompted many discussions about whether coffee discarded like this could cause environmental damage. This is a topic that we discuss on a weekly basis. We've talked about supplements. We've talked about certain ingredients. We've talked about things we don't like. For example, we've talked about how we don't like dyes. And, if it's a can like this, now, Teach, I know you're not a C4 guy, but if it's Rise or Gorilla Mind and there's no color in the can, and if you pour it into a glass, it's just clear, I personally don't give a shit. Do you? We have advanced GG using algae for their blue dye. It's just one of those things. Back to the article from RTE. Over 2 billion with a B, B as in boy. Over 2 billion cups of coffee are consumed every day worldwide. Damn. All the liquid has to go somewhere, whether you are at home, at work, or run for a bus in this case. While the welcome hit of caffeine in the morning ritual for many, it can be an unwelcome hit for the environment when disposed of. Okay, are we talking the plastic? Are we talking about the cup itself? Are we talking about just the liquid? I'm curious. An individual cup is insignificant, but millions of daily dregs poured down the drain would create a much bigger problem for rivers and watercourses because we are adding to the caffeine levels already present in sewage from households. The more caffeine that goes into these pipes, the more they could evade treatment and reach rivers. Cups of coffee contain hundreds of chemical compounds as well as caffeine, assuming you are not drinking decaf.
Yeah, who
Will
drinks
include
decaf?
milk. There's some people that do. Believe it or not, I've actually have drank decaf before. Not bad. So I gotta tell you something. At my mother's work, when my grandmother was in hospice, the first thing I did when I walked in after I checked in, they had a they had a coffee machine there. So I would get a bottle of water just to keep with me in my pocket, a little mini bottle. But then I would grab a cup and it had the machine that would tell you what kind of coffee do you want. Do you want a like at night I would take myself a decaf because it was so good. But it would tell you how strong you want it, what you want added into it. And right then and there, it takes the beans whole, grinds them right there, presses them, and gives you the perfect cup of coffee to your liking. Teach. I didn't have to pay for it. It was just a courtesy for everyone in that building. It was phenomenal. It was absolutely just church. It was beautiful. It was a phenomenal cup of coffee. And even though I'm a New Englander and a guy in the tri state, Dunkin' and Starbucks would have a very hard time replicating that cup of coffee from that machine. I take it with milk, take it black. There was a hot chocolate option in there as well. It was magnificent. Needless to say, yes, that decaf was the best decaf I've ever had. You couldn't tell. So, back to the article. Cups of coffee contain hundreds of chemicals and compounds, as well as caffeine, assuming you're not drinking decaf. Many will include milk and sugar, and some contain cocoa, spices, and other ingredients. Of these, caffeine has the most impact environmentally speaking. It does not break down quickly or easily and is considered an emerging contaminant. Scientists only have recently started testing for caffeine levels, and it is not always monitored. Even back in 2003, 20 years ago, caffeine was found polluting Swiss lakes and rivers. However, don't think that means it's fine to pour decaf coffee down the drain. All coffee lowers the pH of water, and coffee that contains organic compounds will rob aquatic systems of oxygen as they decompose. The nutrients in coffee also encourage algae growth and may lead to additional oxygen depletion in rivers and lakes, which can stress and potentially reduce the lifespan of marine plants and animals.
The
Why
more
is
you know.
caffeine such a problem? Wastewater treatment plants vary in their ability and capability to treat and remove caffeine, ranging from 60 to 100%, depending on treatment types, plant design, season, temperature, and other elements. This means even treated water can contain caffeine when it's returned to the river and seas. Heavy rains add to the problem. If sewage pipe is extended, okay. So I guess now the recent study is what do we do now? So, scrolling down, what should and shouldn't you put in a drain? Don't put anything in a drain that you don't want seen in a river, lake, or a beach or a sea. Well, when somebody's got the bug, where else are they gonna put their head in? Probably gonna be the toilet. That means no coffee, coffee grounds, food based liquids, oils, paint, hot fats, detergents, bleaches, liquids. Well, not for nothing, but where the hell did the detergents go after we wash our goddamn clothes? You know where it's going. So I wonder what these people are trying to think about. Leave the street drains do not do their simple job collecting rainwater, not wastewater. What to do with your coffee? You are constantly throwing away coffee water, perhaps trying to make less coffee at home. Dilute coffee water for use of a plant tonic. Coffee liquid and grounds can be disposed of in gardens. So, grounds, I will say this as a maintenance man, do not put coffee grounds down your sink because chances are you'll be calling me to take apart your sink, take apart the components, clap them out or vacuum them out, putting up together. And because I'm nice and I'm not a professional plumber, I'll go easy on the bill for you. How's that? Yeah. Instead of a plumber going out there and charging you probably somewhere between 500 and 1,000 bucks, I'd probably do less than 100 because that's just how I roll. And this economy, people need to somebody like me. Not to toot my own horn, but you know how I operate. But yeah, don't put coffee grounds down the ground. And I wonder, so coffee grounds, I actually use them for gardening. So I'm assuming soil would be okay. So essentially, if we are done drinking caffeine for the day or my drink got warm or whatever, I think it's best to essentially find a place in the ground.
It would make a compost.
That's what I'm going from here. Now, granted, if it has milk, it's going to be a little different. It's going to be a little more difficult. But if we pour it on the ground, I think from what they're saying it'd be environmentally better. And I'm okay with that. So instead of a fresh piper going down the drain, I might have to do what they did in Family Guy where she poured the Red Bull in the garden and then the daisy grew taller and it ran away. Remember that scene from Family Guy?
Probably, honestly. It sounds vaguely
It was
familiar, and
when
I've
Peter
watched it a
was
lot.
it was when Peter was jacked up on Red Bull and then Lois took it away because he was acting crazy and then he tries to make his own energy drink and he drinks kerosene. You know, because what Peter really is,
Oh, Pete.
old Family Guy, new Family Guy, the character of Peter Griffin didn't change. You know what his role is as a professional?
Entertainment.
A professional artard. Season one, professional artard. Current season, professional artard. Change my mind.
And that's probably the perfect spot to end off for 173.
Yes, indeedy. So, in doing so, people, we do have more cans to try. We're going to see because there might be a new product that comes out. Hopefully, something to look forward to. There's one uh there's one acquired flavor that we are thinking about, and I believe it was last year. It was the Alani Winter Wonderland. I'm not sure how accessible it's going to be for Teach. I know that's one can that's usually rare to find in his area. I believe it was similar to the coconut berry Red Bull. I could be mistaken. I'm not sure if they reskinned it this year. But if that's on my to-do list just to confirm or to say they changed the formula. However, we do have the rises to show up, and I am looking forward to it. I'm very hesitant because Rise has been on my shit list, but I'm very pleased to try these Rise cans, especially the lemonade. Because if Rise makes a bad lemonade, I just might cry.
Yeah. Heard highly from it, so we will have to try it.
And with that said, people, like I said, drink plenty of freaking water. Check your headlights. Check all the lights on your car. Please get your furnace serviced. I want and if I want any fire hazards. And because of that, be smart with your space heaters. Again, I've seen too many things. Don't give me some heartburn over here. I don't need it. Please, everybody, be safe. Smile. Be well. And hopefully, we see you next week. Love you guys. Take it easy.